What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Thursday morning edition of the Daily Juice podcast with me, Matt Peralt at Sports Talk Matt. To follow me on Twitter, the BetMGM offer always above me. YouTube video for the video above me, audio wise. $10 bet, $150 in your account. Promo code Daily Juice, Juice 150. I've been doing it for 2 years. I should know this by now. Juice 150 at BetMGM with a new account, not valid in Nevada. Promo code Juice150, $10 bet. Win or lose, $150. All right, so 0-2 last night. Man, so the over, I bet the first period over that hit. I bet over 6.5 in game after that first goal came in really quickly. So I got 2 bets right personally on that, but officially down 1 unit. Overtime loss. We were right there for Tampa to take game 1. Darcy Kemper was not good in the game, but Vasilevsky was bad in the first period, man. Those 2 soft goals early. Going to be kicking himself. I'll be on Tampa in game 2 again, though. I'll come back and bet Tampa again. Maybe I'm going to go down 0-2 here on this, but I'm going to take Tampa again in game number 2. But for right now, we lose that. We lose the over. Officially 6. We wind up with a 7-goal game. 4-3, the final for the Avalanche. Go up 1-0 on the Tampa Bay Lightning in the Stanley Cup Finals. So kind of a bummer, official bummer there. But that now, over the course of the last 8 days, we are now down 0.8 units. So the loss last night, we were up 2 units, 0.2 going into last night over the last 7 days. So down a little bit after the 1 unit loss last night. So, let's get a bounce back spot here on a Thursday. I got 4 bets for you for game 6 of the NBA Finals. There's a little bit of a strategic play here as to what I'm going to jump in. I'm going to explain here in just 1 second. But before we do that, it's the last time, the last day, the last read for our friends at Omaha Steaks. All right? This is the Dad's Want Steak package. 4 bacon-wrapped filet mignons. 4 air-chilled chicken breasts. 4 pork chops. 4 gourmet jumbo franks. 4 caramel apple tartlets. 8 Omaha steak burgers in a jar of Omaha seasoning, which is really good, by the way. I put it on everything. That stuff's good. It's $100. Okay, you got to order it today. It's our last time to read to get it for Father's Day. Dad Want Steaks package. You go to omahasteaks.com. Type in juice. It pops up. You place the order, and your dad, yourself, your granddad, whatever, they're all going to be darn happy with the amount of food they're going to get for $100. A C-note. It's a lot of damn food, man. It's really, really good. If you're looking for a really cool package, looking for a really cool gift for dad, this is a perfect fit. It's a perfect, do it for yourself, if not for your dad. If you like to grill, $99, omahasteaks.com. Juice in that search bar, and you get the Dad's Want Steak package in time for Father's Day. omahasteaks.com. Use that keyword, juice. All right. So there's a shot that the NBA season ends tonight, and that the 7-1 ticket on the Golden State Warriors, that comes in 7-1. We get that right. Celtics 10-1 is very much in jeopardy. Boston is at home tonight, however. So here's how I am playing this game. 4 bets, 4 different ways of playing it. First off, I'm a Celtics fan. So if Boston wins game 6 and they force a game 7, we can kind of kick our heels up and watch game 7 and we can bet on it, but we don't have to do very much. Okay? So since I have a 10-1 on Boston to win it all, it would make sense to bet the Warriors tonight at plus 150. So you get plus 150, Warriors win the series. You get a plus 150 cash, plus the 7-1. We increase our position, trying to get up to that 10-1 spot, okay? It would make sense that if Boston wins game 6, that we again bet the Warriors again in game 7, okay? We won't be getting plus money, but we bet the Warriors again. So if we bet the Warriors here, trying to get it up. If they win, 7-1 cashes plus the plus 150 cashes for a half a unit. We get 1.5 unit, but we get 0.75 units back on it. So it almost gets us to 8-1 on the cash. So I like that. If we lose the half a unit. So we're taking a little bit off the Celtics in terms of that 10-1 cash, but we can then bet it again and be down a unit. But then we're, half a unit, down a unit. Now we're winning 9 units on that 9-1 bet, but we're basically giving ourselves a sweatless watch, and you can just be a fan. So I'm betting a half a unit down. If you have the 10-1 and the 7-1, if you're on both sides of this, like I am, this is where we can be a little bit strategic with how we bet it. Not so much of a handicap, but more or less taking the plus 150, taking the plus money, and watch it play out. So I will bet the Warriors game 6. If they lose, I'll bet the Warriors in game 7. Okay, so that's how I'm going to play it. Most likely it's minus 110 on both sides. I'll bet the Warriors for half a unit for that. Okay, so first bet, Warriors to win tonight at plus 150. If Boston wins, phenomenal. Okay, it's a John Anik way of betting, as I've talked about it before, bet against your team. But I also think, given our future position, this is a smart way of approaching this to take the plus points. Boston wins. We have a game 7 this coming weekend on Sunday night, I believe it is. And then I'll bet the Warriors again in game 7 in that game. So that's how I'm playing it. First bet, half a unit, plus 150, Warriors on the money line. Second bet, Boston team total, 106.5. It's high, okay? However, for the 2 games that Boston has won, Boston has scored more points than this. Game 1, game 3. Otherwise, Boston has not scored very many points, to be quite honest. Boston hasn't covered in 3 of the last 4 games, which is somewhat stunning. Boston has scored, get this, 94, 97, and 88 in 3 of the last 4 games. They failed to score 100 points, failed to score 98 points in 3 of the last 4 games. But in game 1, they scored 120. In game 3, they scored 116. I think we're going to get 110 points out of the Boston Celtics, okay? I'm not positive the Warriors are going to score a ton of points here tonight, okay? You say, well, Matt, just bet the over, right? Bet the over 210. I don't know. When Boston wins games, they tend to win games big. 120 to 108, 116 to 100. Now the total is 210, okay? So if we got a 110 to 102 type of game, we go over. But I'm more confident that Boston and Boston's role players will play better here at home and hit more points. I think this game could go over, and the Warriors could win this. I think the Warriors win and the over is really possible. But I think only one team getting hot is also very possible, because we know that the Warriors have a game 7 in their back pocket. So the potential, if they're down by like 15 points going into the third quarter, I don't know if they go, all out in the fourth quarter. They may just punt the game and say, we'll see you in game 7. It's at home. We're good. So that's my fear. I'm betting the over, that's what ends up happening. So I'm going to take the Boston Celtics team total over 106.5 points at minus 110. Okay? Over 106.5 Boston team total. Over 106.5 at minus 110 is how I'm going to play it for a half a unit. Okay? I think Boston is going to score game 1, 120, game 2, 116. I think we see finally Boston. They've not played 3 bad games in a row in a really long time. I don't see it again. I mean, I think the game could go over, but I think Boston team total is a safer bet given the fourth quarter for the Warriors as to what might happen with the Warriors. Okay? 2 prop bets to give you. Game 6 Clay. So right now, betting has been really wild, right? Bet the run line against the Washington Nationals every time, and you're cashing, right? Bet on the Braves. Braves, did they win again tonight? I haven't saw. Did they win their 14th game in a row? Just bet the Braves on the money line. It's just been an automatic cash. Let me see. The Braves. The Braves. They won again, 8-2 on the run line. Bet the Braves run line. It's just sort of like, easy to do. You just jump on in. Here we go. So, game 6 Clay, over 3.5 made threes. Klay Thompson's been very hot in this series. Klay Thompson has been just, a guy that Boston has lost track of for whatever reason, and he's hitting threes. 5 last time out, 4 and 5. In game 6 against the Mavericks, he hit 8 threes. In game 6 against the Memphis Grizzlies, he hit 8 threes. Game 6 Clay. I'm not going to fade it. It's minus 125. lay the 0.31 units to win the quarter unit back. I'm going to lay the juice on this to win a quarter unit. Klay Thompson over 3.5 made threes at minus 125 to win a quarter unit, not laying a quarter unit. And the other bet is on Derek White. Same stat line. Derek White 0 for 3 last time out behind the arc. 3 for 5 in game 4. 0 and 3 in game 3. 2 for 4 in game 2. 5 for 8 in game 1. Boston's going to need Derek White. They need the role players to hit threes. Derek White over 1.5 threes is minus 110. Quarter unit bet. I think Derek White, I think all the role players, Grant Williams, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, I think they all play better tonight for Boston. That's why I like the over team total 106.5. I think Derek White hits two or more threes here. He's done this in 3 of the 5 games so far here in this series. I think he does it again. Derek White over 1.5 made threes, minus 110 for a quarter unit. All right. It's all I'm betting tonight. I'm just going to watch the Celtics. It's my last basketball game, my last basketball betting opportunity of the year. It's been a really, really fun year betting on the NBA this year, betting on basketball. Player props has been super fun this year betting. And, the NBA, we're slightly under on our NBA, 67 and 70. Overall, it's 49%. So we're a little under there. NBA player props, that can't be right. We're 9 and 9 on NBA player props. That's interesting. So if we get these 2 props, we'll finish up 11 and 9, and we'll be positive for the year betting on NBA props. I can't believe I bet only that few. That doesn't feel right. It feels like I bet more NBA props than 18 props in the entire NBA season. That doesn't feel right to me. In 2022, in 2021, because the year kind of crossed over, but that includes last year though. The NBA player props are 90 and 86. I don't know. I think we may have lost track of some of the NBA player props with the tracking when Dan Harris left. I don't know. That feels very low to me that my NBA player props is only 18 player props. It feels like I bet more than 18 player props here in the NBA in the playoffs than the whole year. But I don't know. That might be just something that slipped through the cracks or not. But we'll see how we wind up with the NBA. Again, Warriors money line plus 150, half a unit. Boston over team total 106.5, minus 110. Both those bets half a unit. Lay enough to win a quarter unit on Klay Thompson over 3.5 threes at minus 125. Derek White over 1.5 threes, minus 110, also for a quarter unit. My name is Matt Peralt. Follow me on Twitter at Sports Talk Matt. Each and every morning, it's Daily Juice Podcast, always being brought to you by BetMGM.